So let's have a quick recap. Tommy Robinson is a British citizen who was reporting on a pedophile gang that was molesting children for decades. The police didn't want to do anything about it for decades because they didn't want to be called racist. So it was a matter of national concern, you would say, to find out what happens with this grooming gang. And also a national concern of which policemen are going to get fired for not doing their job. However, while Tommy was reporting it, he pointed out that this is a sensitive case. And in Britain, when a case is deemed sensitive, you're not allowed to editorialize. You're only allowed to talk about the facts in order not to influence the jury one way or another. So what Tommy did is he made absolutely sure that he only reports things that the mainstream media has already reported on, in order to make absolutely sure that he is not breaking the law. However, the police comes in and they arrest him. They arrest him for saying that he is disturbing the public peace, a charge that was lately found to be false. So they arrested him on false premise and took him in front of a judge. This is very bewildering, to say the least, because usually after being arrested, people do have time to speak with their lawyers, they do have time to make one phone call, and they do have time to mount a defense that they will then put forward in their trial. However, in Tommy's situation, he did not have time to do any of that. He was brought before a judge, and he was accused for contempt of court. Now, the trial was done so quickly, for some unknown reason, that the judge didn't even say which part of his recording caused the contempt of court, considering the fact that his recording that he uploaded on Facebook were things that the mainstream media already said. And it was quite interesting to see the day after the mainstream media starting to retract everything they said regarding the case because they didn't know if they were breaking the law either. However, no arrests were made on the mainstream media, only Tommy was targeted. And he was found guilty and sentenced to 13 months in prison. Later on, he made an appeal, and turns out that the initial judge was wrong in his sentencing. He sentenced an innocent man to jail. Now, Tommy is out on bail. The contempt of court case is still going to go on. But as the second judge said, there was no reason to arrest Tommy the moment he said that he would delete his video from Facebook. There was no need for this urgency in his trial. What's even more interesting is that the initial judge also gave a press gag regarding the Tommy Robinson case. Members of the press were forbidden for a couple of days to talk about Tommy Robinson. Luckily, I wasn't from the United Kingdom, so I could report on what has happened, and I think it's thanks to people from outside the United Kingdom using the alternative media who managed to raise awareness of this. And because we have seen free Tommy Robinson movements all across the English-speaking world. Now that Tommy is out of prison, we can see that unfortunately he has lost a lot of weight. A lot of people were saying that maybe they weren't feeding him in prison. I don't think this is the case. This usually happens when a person goes through a lot of stress. And as Tommy went out, he made the statement that what they tried to do to me was mentally destroy me. That wasn't a prison sentence, that was mental torture. If I was bitter and angry, I would accept my own victimhood. I'm not their victim, I am their target. So indeed, it seems to be a case of him being very stressed out while under arrest. And if you guys remember, I made a video on my channel where I spoke about a letter he wrote. And in that letter, he points out how he was not able to sleep properly. He was constantly afraid that his life is in danger. And thankfully for Lord Pearson, who made a statement in UK Parliament that he was moved to a different place that was more secure. And he finally had time to write and finally had time to feel more safe. So because of this, we now see the hashtag #FeedTommyRobinson, where you get a lot of people offering him kind words and support. Some people are also cracking jokes, saying that, when you cry yourself to sleep every night, the diet has worked wonders. But most people are definitely there to offer him his support, kind words. Apparently, we even have a video from Sticks and Hammer. And while the hashtag is not huge, and it's definitely not trending, I thought it's quite funny and was worthy your attention. Unfortunately, this event also caused a lot of people that are filled with hate, a lot of online trolls to come out, a lot of people that are ugly. And I'm not talking an ugliness of the face, I'm talking about an ugliness of the spirit. Some people that only know how to hate to come on and post very vile and very disgusting messages regarding a man who was illegally arrested. We find out that during the appeal, another judge said that no, he shouldn't have been arrested. Therefore, the arrest was illegal. We're going to see these people in this particular post. So you have Katie Hopkins saying before and after, and she posts a picture with how Tommy Robinson looked before and how much weight he lost after. The British state fattens up jihadis on taxpayers' cash, starves an innocent man imprisoned by a kangaroo court. So it's important to understand that the people who didn't like Tommy, they came up in full force saying that he definitely should have been arrested. They knew the law. They read the law book, and it's like, no, he should have been arrested. His imprisonment is legit, and if you are supporting him, you're supporting a criminal. And now that it turns out that they were wrong, now that it turns out that the people supporting Tommy were in the right, they're very upset about it. And instead of apologizing like a decent person would, or at least keep quiet, they're spreading their messages of absolute hate and absolute vile towards the internet. So we got this lady, Stella Hawkins. He's lost a bit of weight, love. Get over it. If you're worried about people starving, consider the children in Yemen that Saudi Arabia keeps bombing. I'm pretty sure she cares about the children in Yemen. Look, she got 80 hearts. Tell me, Stella, how much you care about the children in Yemen, you virtue signaling twat. How much money did you donate for the kids in Yemen? What charities have you run for the kids in Yemen? This is a person that is so vile that she is willing to use the children from a war zone in order to have a shield and deflect criticism. In fact, it's not even a shield, it's a weapon, right? She's using the image of starving children in Yemen to beat other people who are worried about the legal system in their country. People who are legitimately worried if it happens to Tommy Robinson, what about me? What if I am a British citizen and I have some concerns about radical Islam? What if happens to me if I speak about them? Will I be treated like Tommy Robinson? Will I be thrown in a jail? This is the concern that a lot of people from the UK are having, and this woman is taking up the starving children in Yemen, and they're going to beat the living shit out of you with them, right? And it's not only that. It's like, why is it more moral to care about starving children in Yemen than if you care about starving people in the United Kingdom? Why are the children in Yemen having a one-up? Well, okay, maybe it's the thing that they're children that is the issue, right? Because they're kids. What about Tommy Robinson's child? What about the British child that had his father in prison? How was he treated at school? How was he... I mean, two can play this emotional game. I prefer playing the game of arguments and logic. But if we're going to pretend we're talking about emotions and feelings, I can also pull the strings of hearts. I know how to do it. It's just that I choose not to, because I don't think this makes an intelligent conversation. An intelligent conversation makes me think that Stella Hawkins is just a person who virtue signals a lot. I don't think she paid any money for the children in Yemen. And I don't think she cares about the starving children in Yemen. If she does, maybe we should start a Kickstarter for her so she can go to Yemen and feed the children. What do you guys think? Will she do it? Maybe if we raise like, I don't know, $5,000. Think she will buy some hamburgers or something and then go into a plane? travel to Yemen and feed the children? Do you think she cares that much? I personally don't think she cares that much. Let's actually see what she cares about. It says she cares about United States politics more than the children in Yemen. And then she posts out. Now this is really interesting. A few hours ago, I compared the appalling plight of Tommy Robinson. Appalling by quote mining. Like, do you think if your dad was detained unlawfully and placed in a jail, it would be appalling or not? With quotation marks, with air quotes. Well, what about if you or your son was locked up in a British prison for no reason? Do you think that would be good? We don't know. The genuinely appalling plight of children in Yemen. Now, people who are, I presume, my compatriots are telling me to move to Yemen. Yeah, move to Yemen. Make it a better place. Be the change you want to see in the world. You don't have to move to Yemen, but you should at least donate money to the children in Yemen. Write a check. Write $1,000 check. I mean, let's look at it. She apparently is a professional chef. She probably makes a pretty penny, right? How much does a professional chef make in Britain? I think she makes a lot. But maybe at least 20% of what she makes should go to the children in Yemen, if she cares that much. Because here's the thing, Tommy Robinson supporters are willing to put their money where their mouth is. If there was a Kickstarter in order to gather money for Tommy Robinson to pay his legal defense costs, I would personally donate to that. Because I actually support the cause regarding Tommy Robinson. You have not donated money to the children of Yemen. And the reason I know is because I looked at your Twitter profile and I know people like you. If you had donated $1 to the starving children of Yemen, you would not be able to stop talking about it. People like you are unable to do anything but virtue signal. But correct me if I'm wrong. Please prove me that I'm wrong. I would love to see a check from you and show that you have paid $1,000 to the starving children of Yemen, and then I will say, you know what? She actually cares. She legitimately cares. But no, you don't care. Again, you're using the suffering of starving children in a faraway land as a beating stick for people who care about other issues than you. Because apparently you only have to care about her issues. Now, I want people to not message her, okay? Make it absolutely clear. I do not want a single person to send a message to Stella Hawkins, because the opposite of love is not hate. Okay, this idea, it's like love, not hate, is childish. No. The opposite of love is ignorance. Treating someone with ignorance is far worse than anything else. So I want her to be irrelevant. I don't want her to get a single tweet from this. I don't want her to get a single heart or a single retweet. Nothing. Just nothing. She doesn't exist. As far as I am concerned, she doesn't exist. And again, she shouldn't get attention because she's not the only one doing it. There are more than a couple of dozens of people sending similar hateful messages to a man who was falsely imprisoned. And this is absolutely disgusting, because the principle should be, if someone in my country is falsely imprisoned, anyone can be falsely imprisoned. I can be falsely imprisoned. A family member of mine can be falsely imprisoned. A friend of mine can be falsely imprisoned. This is how a healthy person thinks. But when it comes to people like her ilk, they're like, oh, a person I don't like got imprisoned, that's fine. Interesting way of thought. I'll probably do more readings of mean tweets on my live stream tonight, because again, she's just the first one who tweeted. She was so excited that she had to be the first, so this is why I talked about her. Please don't contact her. Again, there's no reason to do it. But I am really appalled by the ugliness of these people's souls. And I'm not even religious, and she makes me think of a soul. She makes me think that, no, it's not possible for a human being to be this despicable. Like, there must be some other element, maybe a soul that is ugly, that makes a human person into what she is. To use, again, like, I will keep repeating this because it's absolutely bewildering. To use the suffering of children from another nation just so you can so you can win an argument. Just Absolutely bewildering, especially from someone who claims they're a progressive person. Let me know what you think. Looking forward for the comments on this video.